Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and I am here with a 5 minutes or less challenge. So this month I decided to do three different spreads, mostly because by the third spread I was really over this challenge. So I decided not to keep going. But anyways, I decided to do a monthly calendar for the first spread, and instead of using my A5 size guide stencil, I decided to count things out to see how much longer it would take me to do this spread, because I did a similar type of calendar spread last time, but I did use a stencil to help me. So this time, this entire challenge is basically about, okay, what can I do with the limited supplies I have or with the types of spreads that I want to do in 5 minutes, and show folks that bullet journaling can be done very simply at the start of a day with 5 minutes. So I don't always succeed. In fact, in this particular one, I only succeeded 2 out of the 3 attempts that I did. So, a little spoiler alert for you. But overall, I still got down pretty much all of the basics that I needed to for the spreads that I wanted to create. And when I say I failed, it's because I had intended to do more for that particular spread, but more was not necessarily needed. For example, the calendar itself is done, minus numbering, but I wanted to include more things like a note section, a goals section, things like that. So for me, this is a fail because I had intended to do more with the 5 minutes, but it took so long for me to count boxes, and I did not anticipate that. So here is the rest of this spread, and then we'll go on to the next. So you can see there I didn't quite finish. This next spread is my year in pixels spread. So I wanted to show that you can do some decorative elements with stencils and still make it in time, and do a somewhat complicated spread, mostly because you have to, when you do the year in pixels, you have to get the outline correct. And that does take a little bit of time, and like remembering how many days are in a month and things like that. I do have a stencil for this particular year in pixel tracker as well, but I decided to go ahead and count things out. So I started by doing the brick stencil pattern because, again, I want to show that different things can be done even though you are trying to do things within a certain time. So now I am going in and numbering. That way my numbers are down and I don't have to keep counting to 31 or whatever. So I'm putting the numbers in first. That way it'll set me up for putting in for January through December. And this is where I decided to use a ruler, just because of the types of spreads that I was doing here, and that it's just vertical lines basically that I was intending to do. And I hesitated there a little bit because I was only going to do 6 months, but then I decided to do the entire 12 months. So, like I said, using your ruler takes a little bit of time, especially me. I am indeed a perfectionist. So, for me in particular, it does end up taking a long time. I did try to save some time by not using my ruler along the bottom, because that is only a 5 millimeter line. So, even if it got slightly wonky, I didn't think that it would bother me that much. So, I decided to go ahead and save myself some time there. And you can see I was very quickly running out of time, and with 5 seconds left, I was like, oh, I won't be able to finish. So I didn't finish. But I really wish I had put in, obviously, the title and some more, um, uh, like a key, basically, a color coded key. And on this final one, so I failed the first two. Luckily, I did not fail this one. I wanted to show that you can use some specific types of washi tape, so I decided to do like a little 1 page monthly spread where it has like a master to-do list and habit trackers. So I did individual habit trackers on the right hand side and then a to-do on the left hand side. And I decided to show that you don't need a zig clean dot marker to do all of your dots, but you can use that, obviously, and that would save you some time versus doing it with a brush pen like I did here. But, oh gosh, and that spacing is really just coming back to haunt me, isn't it? So anyways, I'll let this play out, and then I'll walk you through all of the spreads at the end in the outro. Okay, well, this time that I did the challenge was not quite as successful as the last time I did the challenge. So I started off with a monthly calendar. I wanted to try to get a few different elements in. So I wanted to have like a little like tracker of some sort over here, and then I wanted to also have like a goals section down here and then do some art up here. So that obviously didn't happen. I did not use a stencil to help me like measure out the counting this time, so it's a lot more difficult to get in 5 minutes when you were trying to count. But is this a layout? Yes. Although I didn't put like notes or tracker or anything over here. So, and then I switched it up last minute because I did put a dot over here. So then I kind of had to think about how I was gonna do the calendar because I remembered that July starts on Friday, not a Thursday. So I couldn't do 4 columns over here, but it is what it is because I was going to do a tracker over here and then over here with the goals, but that didn't happen. So anyways, failed that one, but I did get all of the elements, like the actual calendar element and the days of the week. So I think that was mildly successful. And then I tried to do a stencil, which the stencil part wasn't necessarily the worst timing. This took about 1.5 minutes, if I remember correctly, when I looked up at my phone to see what the timing was, because I wanted to do a somewhat complicated lots of elements type of thing with a stencil. So the year in pixels, I did get, I think it was like 501. I did get all of the elements down for the actual year in pixel. I just did not get the header down or a color code. So I am pretty proud of this, that I did this entire year in pixels from scratch. And then I had to remember how many days in a month and all that kind of stupid stuff.
And then I was like, okay, let's go with another type of monthly spread to go along with it. I'm fairly good at doing these habit trackers quickly. So this one was kind of a fail, but this one I got like in 4.5 minutes. And I think the only thing that took me longer was one, I got up to get this washi tape. And then two, I didn't want to get up to get the clean dot pen. So instead I did it with a caliograph. So that took a little bit longer to do that And then obviously, and I'm really upset because I messed up the spacing there. But I thought it would be fun to include how you can also include things like washi tape in your spreads for a decorative element and then for a functional element up here. So those are the 3 spreads that I decided to do for the 5-minute challenge. 2 fails and 1 win. Although the 2 fails, I did get the main aspect of that. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Let me know if you do a 5-minute challenge in your own life and what spread you did and how that ended up working out for you. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because a lot of people say bullet journaling takes too much time, but I'm trying to prove that even just one spread can be done in about 5 minutes. So this spread would have been done. All I had to do is year in pixels and a color code. So I imagine probably about 7 minutes. And then this one probably could have been done in about 8 minutes if I didn't have all the screw ups. But that is my 5-minute challenge, 5 minutes or less challenge this month. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you all again in these bullet journal challenges. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.